Yeah. So um, let's get into the orientation proper. So getting started in your data career. Um, so this was a bit about orientation about us. We are emerging markets player. We specialize in data services and professional training. So data services like in-house products building, consultancy services, and we also do training like you're undergoing now. And we offer diverse range of data training programs, which are among the best in Nigeria. Um, and what sets us apart is our ability to bring together a diverse and talented team, which includes remote members who work collaboratively to deliver exceptional projects. And along the line of your training, one of the things that you will get to experience with us is that diversity, um, especially in terms of collaboration. You will learn how to collaborate with your fellow team members in delivering a project, and that is something that is very important, especially in the work ecosystem, the tech ecosystem today. So, according to Google Analytics, we are um, consistently among the top five most searched data training providers in Nigeria. And if you have searched for us, if you have maybe tried searching online for data training institutions in Nigeria, I think you would have seen us among the first um, um, couple, if not the first um, suggestions. So that is because of how popular we are and how popular our services are. So we have track records of interns who have flourished under our mentorship, and they have gone up to secure employment or further their education. We have certain kind of people that come to us for training. There are some people that maybe they didn't have any prior background in anything computer science or data or statistics or mathematics. And maybe they wanted to they looked at data science and they were intrigued by it or artificial intelligence and they wanted to further their education in it, maybe by master's or PhD. So they come to us for training so that they can get the requisite knowledge to go on those programs. And one of the things that have stood out for us is that our curriculum has been rich enough that it has been sufficient as a basic training for people that want to go into masters or PhD, even without prior knowledge. We have had people that have come and used our training as evidence of them having the basic knowledge to go and advance their training, even in UK and Canada and US and the rest. So that is something that stands for us. And we have um, people like that have gotten employment or have gone for further their education based on our training in at least 8 different countries, and probably more than that by now, but at least 8 different countries, and that is testament to the quality of what we offer. So, what are our vision and our values? To support our clients with data services and training that scale their businesses and create career opportunities. Um, we we are very particular about excellence, and we want to be excellent in all that we do. And that is why even today's issue was a very big setback because it's not something that happens frequently, something that we try to mitigate against. But um, sometimes, as some people will say, Nigeria do happen to people. And but as time goes on, we are trying to see how we can, as much as possible, mitigate some of these things. But rest assured that the services you're going to be enjoying from us or receiving from us is going to be on an excellent basis. Um, we are always looking out for growth, and we always looking out to improve our skills. And one of the things you will experience in Data Lab is the fact that despite the fact that we do training from time to time, from year to year, our materials are not redundant because they are updated with the times, with the present technologies and the rest. So we move along with what is happening, and that is basically because of the fact that we are also active in the field. We are not just delivering materials or teaching. We are very much active in the field, and because we are very much active in the field, it makes that our training is very practical. So we are always growing, we're always improving, we are always including new technologies, new ways of doing things and stuff like that. And that's what makes our trainings different. And we always look out for the satisfaction. We want you to be satisfied. We want to be satisfied in giving you the best. We want you to be satisfied that you have received the best from us. And also, we are innovative. We like to do things differently. So if there is a new way that is going to bring efficiency, that's going to bring speed, that is going to bring about better results, we are going to exploit and we're going to implement it. And that is because of how we are always looking forward to innovative ways of helping us. And finally, collaboration. We work as a team and we value everyone. By the time you have other people join you, you begin to see the importance of working as a team. But also here in our, as an organization in-house, we also have teams that work hand in hand to achieve the best results. So moving on, some of our instructors, um, sorry, some pictures are not that clear, but we might need to adjust this. Mr. Limey was speaking with you earlier. That's him on the first picture. Um, and the next person there, um, and we have Mrs. Feyi and Miss Nifemi, and that's the first lady down below, and she's going to be taking you SQL. You're going to meet on Saturday, and you're going to meet also Mr. Ifani that's going to be taking you on Excel, and Mrs. Dami, the last lady there, that's going to also be taking you probably your Power BI and maybe Python. So these are some of the people that you're going to encounter during the course of your training. And these are seasoned hands that have gone through a lot of projects, both professionally and in the training ecosystem. So you're going to be working in safe hands. So, so why do you need data analytics and data science? And basically because data is now a big thing. Um, One of the things that people have begun to see or organizations are seeing over the last decade or so is the fact that um, human beings are repetitive by nature. And that means that if you get enough information, historical information about how actions have been carried out in the past, you can be able to predict how actions will be carried out in the future. And because of that, the collection of data has been exponential. The increase in the data collection has been exponential. So from your computers to your phones to websites to digital products, um, large amount of data are being generated and collated. And because companies and now know that there is profit in this kind of thing, we can be able to generate insights, right? We can be able to enter into markets. We can be able to do things to improve our customer services based on the data that we are getting. And because of the large amount of data being collected, the demand for people that can be able to make sense of that data has also risen. So it's one thing to collect the data, it's another thing to have people that will be able to make sense of the data, analyze it, um, bring out insights from it, create data-driven systems, and the rest. So those are the things. So it's one thing to collect the data. The companies have been seeing that it's very important to collect data, but also now um, they need the people to be able to analyze that collected data. And when we talk about big data, we're talking about data that is not only voluminous, and that's data that is large, but also data that has velocity, comes at speed. Sometimes you're going to be working with live data, data that is volatile, changes a lot, and stuff like that. So, in this present age and time, big data is a very, very big thing, and companies employ data professionals because of the value that can be gotten from this data, and that is why there's a very high demand for data professionals across the industry. And is this a lucrative skill? Definitely. Um, my job mark has rated it as one of the fastest growing skills for jobs in Nigeria. It's also the world's most advanced skill with lots of new technological breakthroughs. Um, there are major career portals have reported, that's sites for jobs, have reported a high demand for tech workers, mostly in data related roles. So there are several data related roles, and a data scientist or a data analyst is just one of those roles. But one of the things that you're going to experience is that in the course of our training, we are going to give you um we are going to be training you in tools that apply that make you what I like to call a full stack data scientist. A full stack data scientist is somebody that can work on a project from beginning to end, an end-to-end project. And that means that we are going to be taking things from the different aspects, from the different data professional aspects. So we're going to be having things that people majorly in the data engineering aspect work with, like database management, and that's where SQL comes into play. We're going to be having things like people in the business intelligence environments work with, like Power BI. They're also going to be working with tools like people in the um, data analysis, like Excel work with. You're also going to be working with tools, people that are data scientists or machine learning engineers work with, and that's Python. And that is so that you can be a fully rounded data um, analytics analyst or data scientist. And that is the aim of us choosing this um, particular tools that you have to learn during the course of this your program. So let us look at a, a few of the roles that are present in the data ecosystem. We have the data scientist, uncover patterns, build predictive models, derive insights from complex data. Um, the non-technical professionals can develop their analytical skills and learn programming with Python and SQL. So they uncover patterns. Apart from uncovering patterns, they build systems, data-driven systems. And that is a very important aspect of what a data scientist does. He builds data-driven systems, systems that work on data, that use data to achieve a particular purpose. It can be a predictive model, it can be a recommendation system. Um, we'll talk much a little about that later on in the class. So you also have your um, business intelligence analysis, and these ones are majorly um, people that bring out insight in your business from the data that your business generates. And because of they are majorly concerned with bringing out insights, you see them majorly in creating dashboards and reports that helps in business decisions. And people that are starting out in this field usually work with tools or start out learning tools like Tableau and Power BI. Those are the major tools that they work with. So we have the database administrators. These guys manage the data storage and retrieval system because um, you might be working with data. You might have seen data in your day-to-day activities, maybe in an Excel file, in a CSV file, in a text file, and stuff like that. But in major organizations, data doesn't come in that format. Data is usually stored in a database. And that's because of the volume, because of security, because of retrieval processes and the rest. So the database administrators are those people that manage the storage of the data and how the data is being retrieved. So that is their own aspects. And people that want to get into those field learn things like Postgres, Oracle, and SQL Server. We also have the machine learning engineer. They develop machine learning models, um, machine learning frameworks. Those are models that can predict future things based on historical data. So maybe a model to predict whether a tumor is cancerous or not, or a model to predict whether a transaction is fraudulent or not, based on historical data of fraudulent and non-fraudulent transactions. So that is who a machine learning engineer is. We have a data engineer, and a data engineer is one that is concerned in building and maintaining data pipelines. So these are people that they work basically in building the collection pipeline, how data is collected from maybe a website or a database, how it is connected from wherever to the database, and how it is connected from the database to the final user, be it the data analyst or the data scientist or the machine learning engineer. So these are the people that are connected with or they engineer the data pipeline, they build the data pipelines, how the data is collected, from the data sources to the databases to the end users of the data. So these are who we refer to as the data engineers. Then we have also the data visualization specialists. Um, these people create compelling data visualization, and they are in a way similar to the business intelligence analysts. The difference between them and the analysis basically in the fact that the business analysis majorly business focused in retrieving information that helps in decision making. Um, while the visualization specialist is somebody that is adept at storytelling with data. So he can create compelling stories using visualizations to pass across an information. So that is the data visualization specialist. We also have the statistician, and these guys are just people that can be able to draw conclusions from data. Um, they have statistical skills, and they apply those statistical skills to be able to derive information from data. And that is why most of the mathematics, you might be a mathematical person, you might not be a mathematical person, but at the end of the day, when it comes to things in data analysis or data science, um, you're going to be doing a bit of mathematics, but the mathematics you're going to be doing is majorly statistics. And that is where the statisticians come into play. There are people that are trained in being able to get information out of data. Um, so we have also data governance analysts, and these guys are the ones that implement the policies and the procedures to ensure that your data the quality of the data is maintained, the data complies with existing laws, and they use some governance tools like Colibra and Atlan and the rest. So we also have the data product manager, and this person is in charge of the team that is building a data product. So when there's a data product, this person is in charge of the team that is building that data product. So people like the machine learning engineer or the data scientist or the um, database administrator will be reporting to him. Maybe they're building an app that maybe predicts how much you should pay for your ride, maybe something like Uber or the rest. So the, during the process of building that application, everybody that is involved in that project will be reporting to the data product manager because it's a data-driven product. So we have the data privacy analyst, ensures that data protection and regulation is adhered to. This person is familiar with the data laws, the data privacy laws, data usage laws, and make sure that every data collected or every data stored or every data submitted is used in accordance with the existing data law. Then we have the AI analysts, and these ones, their work um, rotates around continuously building systems that can communicate with the relevant stakeholders and applications, especially in the age of uh, large language models, being able to prompt engineer models to be able to give adequate response. You have these people that is their work to make sure that things like that are optimized to give the best performance. Then we have the data quality analyst, and this one is majorly concerned in ensuring that whatever data that is being collected and stored and used is accurate and reliable of the utmost quality, because data is the foundation of all analysis that you're going to be doing or any data science project you're going to be building. And at the end of the day, your analysis, your conclusions, your decisions, or whatever system, data-driven system you're building is going to be only as good as the data that is used to build it. So there has to be someone monitoring the quality of the data and ensuring that the data is of utmost quality. So these are some of the roles that you will find in the data field. And one of the reasons why you should know this is because um, you might go online and you might be searching for jobs, and some might not come directly as data analyst or data scientist. They might come in one other form, like a BI analyst or stuff like that. So you need to be aware of those kind of roles so that you can be able to know how you fit in. And one of the things you will notice is that some of these roles are interchangeable. They have transferable skills. So an organization can handle data analysts or a data scientist that they want to work majorly as a data quality analyst to ensure that the quality of data is good. So that person will be majorly in charge of doing things like data cleaning and data validation. So, and that is why we try in our tools that we are teaching to make sure that we encompass um, the typical workflow to ensure that you come out a full rounded data scientist. So, so far so good. Are we still together, Deborah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Um, let's move some of the trending use cases of data today. On the trending use cases of data today. Let's see how we use data today. Um, we have what we call financial analysis. And in finance, data science can be used to analyze market trends, identify investment opportunities, reduce risk. Um, Machine learning can be used to predict stock prices, detect fraudulent activities in financial transaction. For example, um, one of the most common ways we use machine learning in finance is for um, loan defaulters, being able to predict people that are likely to default in loan. So most of these organizations that give out loans or your banking institutions will most likely, if they want to be effective, be working using a machine learning algorithm that can take in your data and determine whether you are likely to default on the loan or not. And even if you're not going to default on the loan, how much is safe to give you. So systems can be created to be able to predict that to help. Um, in financial analysis. We also use it in product development and digital marketing. Um, we can now use data for product development, digital marketing. We can analyze to a large extent the buying behavior of customers. So you can know how customers buy, what they buy, how they buy, their purchasing power, um, customer behavior, purchasing behavior, and the rest. And this is just to help to be able to get the most from your customers as much as possible. And for example, um, I was speaking with somebody the other day, and I said that I noticed that I get mails from Access Bank, one of the banks I use. Towards the end of the month, I always get mails from Access Bank asking me whether I need a loan. And probably because of the fact that they have seen regular monetary transaction moving in their accounts and they have analyzed based on previous users and they know that most often than not, people need money towards the end of the month. Maybe they are waiting for salary has not come, and that is the time people normally take loans. So in order to nudge me more to be able to nudge people to take loan, also because they get interest from the loan, so they will nudge you to take the loan if they feel that you're worthy of such kind of loans. So I just noticed it is a pattern towards the end of the month, towards like 25, 26, 27. I start getting messages almost every day about the availability of a loan for me to take. And that is because they have analyzed the behavior of their customers and they know that that is the period where most of their customers usually take loans. And therefore, they are hoping that because you have a good credit score, that they can nudge you to taking that loan by advertising it to you. Because sometimes you might not want to do something, but you have seen the adverts or something and you just realize, oh, I think I can be able to do this because this has come and this opportunity is there. So business product development, they try to design products that match with their customers. So they want to design products that are in line with their customers because at the end of the day, the business wants to make as much sales as possible. They want to attract more customers. They want to make sure that their customer enjoy the product so that they can buy more. So it's used a lot in that. I recently saw the advert of an application that can help you to try on clothes without you actually wearing them. Like you can see it online and you can like bring in a picture of you and it will dress you on the clothes and see whether the clothes will be a good fit for you. Um, because you don't want to buy a clothes and say I didn't enjoy the experience. And there is something that comes with you seeing a clothes on your body already. It nudges you to buy it already more because you can see that it fits you, you can see how it looks on you and stuff like that. So that is part of the things that happen in the business sphere when it comes to product development and digital marketing. We also have what we call recommendation systems. If you're familiar with your Netflix, your YouTube, and several other sites like that where you watch programs or you have a subscription, you will notice that they have what they call recommendation systems that give you things that they think you will like to watch. And that thing actually uses data. It uses data from previous customers. So it says, oh, this person has a similar profile to you, and this person liked so and so movie that you also liked. So therefore, you're going to like this movie that the person liked, but you have not watched. So that is something that the recommendation system does. It brings movies or brings whatever it's recommending to you based on historical data or data from other people. So we have what we call a popularity based recommendation system. So for example, you like watching horror and romance movie. So a popularity based recommendation system can look for a romance or horror movie that is most popular among people that have watched it and recommend it to you. We have what we call a content-based recommendation system where it can use the description of the movies. So it look at the movies that you rated very highly and look for movies that have similar description to the movies, the actors, the storyline of the movie, the producer of the movie, the country the movie was produced, information like that. It uses the content of the movie to create a recommendation system for you for that. We also have what we call the item-based recommendation system, where it uses behavioral patterns in users. So, for example, you liked movie A and movie B. The recommendation system looks for other people that like movie A and movie B. Then it looks for another movie that those people who like movie A and movie B also liked the most. Then it recommends that movie to you because human beings are similar in taste. So if you like A and B, and 1,000 people like A and B, and out of those 1,000 people, 800 of them also like the third movie C. It's going to take that third movie C and recommend it to you because it's now sees or it feels that both of you have similar tastes. So that's what we call a recommendation system. And we also have a hybrid kind of system which combines several of these together, and some organizations work with a hybrid as such. So why do they do this? It's because, like Netflix, they get their money from you coming as a repeat customer. So the more they can recommend movies that you're going to enjoy, the more you're going to keep coming to them because you watched this movie, you enjoyed it. So they recommended that movie, you enjoyed it. So they want to keep you there as long as possible. So that is how it works. Even things like TikTok and the rest, if you notice, when you start watching a particular type of video on TikTok, before you know it, you start getting recommendations of similar video. Um, it's very, very easy to see them at work. In fact, you can actually use recommendation system to kind of, I call it a timeline cleansing. You can decide what you want to be seen on your timeline for sites like TikTok and the rest. You can just intentionally search for some certain type of videos and watch them over and over again. And before you know it, the algorithm will start recommending those kind of videos to you because it has seen that there is a pattern to your like and what you kind of enjoy. So that's recommendation systems. We also have its application in healthcare, predictive analysis, like I talked about, cancer prediction, malaria prediction. There's one I came across some time ago about detecting eye defects, early stage. Um, personalized treatment plans for individual based on specific characteristics, what we call wearable technologies that help people um, by assisting doctors in diagnosis and reducing diagnosis time and hospital stay, making them to be more accurate and making them to be able to make diagnosis as quickly as possible. So that is some of the things used in health analytics. I remember during COVID-19 um, period, I worked on a project with a hospital in the US to build a model to be able to predict how long patients were going to stay. And that was to help them to be able to plan for the resources. So based on the vitals of the patients, like their blood pressure, their temperature, um, dilation of their eyes and information like that, it can predict that, oh, this person is likely to stay for 5 days, for 8 days, for 10 days, so that they can manage their resources like hospital space, bed space, gloves, doctors on call, and the rest. So that is some of the use of data analytics in healthcare. Also, we're talking about companies utilize data for um, energy management, and especially in countries where they have a good um, energy system. Um, it's not just because they are producing as much energy as possible. It's also because they have a system to manage the consumption and the utilization of the energy being generated, and that can be achieved through proper data analysis. So that is why that is also very useful. Now, another aspect is transport and logistics. We can use data to reduce freight costs through delivery path optimization. We can use data to optimize inventory levels and reduce waste and delay in supply. So when you see your Google map giving you directions, telling you that there's likely to be traffic on this route, telling you the best time to come out, telling you the best routes to follow, it is majorly based on analytics, based on the process of it identifying, based on historical data, the best decision to be able to be taken to arrive at a particular location. Um, I remember a project I worked some years ago as regarding, it was even for Abuja, it was somebody's PhD project about public transport system and creating a transportation route for public transport system in Abuja. And it involved us working with a huge amount of data and able to analyze it to determine the best route that public transport system can use in order to meet the transportation needs of residents of Abuja. So, and that involved large amount of data. We collected data from different zones, from on the road. We even had to go on the road collecting data, counting cars, counting passengers at different points at different times of the day. So transport and logistics planning also uses a lot of data analysis. And so this is just like a very big encapsulating what we do in data science. So um, in the smallest of form, we have data science, and even inside data science, I like to have it that first of all, there's a smaller one which I like to call data analysis, because data analysis um, is part of data science. Um, the ability to gain insights on data, and that is what is usually referred to as data analysis. While data science goes further, it includes data analysis, but also includes building systems based on data, business systems based on data, data-driven systems. So it can be a recommendation system, it can be a predictive system, but building system based on data. So in a broader circle, we have deep learning. Deep learning includes data science and using of what we call neural networks to be able to create predictive models. Then we have machine learning, um, creating systems that learn on historical data to be able to make predictions. And we have artificial intelligence, where we're talking about creating or training agents to have human-like response to inputs, to give human-like outputs to inputs. And so these are some of the progression. And even if you're going higher, because some people can start as data analyst and stop there, which is fine. For example, I myself, I started out as a data analyst slash business analyst. Then I moved on to a data scientist, then a machine learning engineer or an AI engineer. So sometimes you can see progressions like that as it encapsulates um, what is done in the data analytics space. So some latest advances in artificial intelligence. Um, we have image generative AI, like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, um, or the one that you have on WhatsApp now. I don't know how many of you know that your WhatsApp can generate images for you. You can give it a prompt and it generates images for you. So that is generative AI that can generate new information based on existing information. Um, So this image generative AI, so you can give it an input. You can say, I want to generate an image that does so and so. I want to generate an image of a man on a horse that is riding on the moon, and it will generate it for you. I don't know how many of us have used um the Meta AI available on WhatsApp. Has any of you used it to generate images? Any one of you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you have. Good. So it's it works with generative AI. And that's some of the latest advances in what we do. We also have personalizations, recommendation systems that recommend music to you. For example, you see a Spotify creating specialized playlists for you. For example, if you have like playlists you have created for yourself, you can see that Spotify can suggest playlists for you. It can create a whole new playlist for you based on the kind of playlist you have created before, the kind of music you listen to. It can create a new playlist for you. That's AI at work, using things like recommendation systems and the rest. So we also have our conversational and generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, uh, um, even Llama. There's the new one that just came out, Llama 3, and the rest, where you can communicate with it. Um, I believe everybody here has probably used ChatGPT. Um, I believe everybody here. Deborah Sampson, I believe you all have used ChatGPT, have you?
Yes, I have used it.
Okay, good. Yeah. What have you, Samson? Okay. Samson still with us? Okay, seems like he's not with us. So that is one of the uses of of AI. Um, Probably um we have specialized classes for that for those people that are going into those kind of AI engineering and where you're going to be learning all those things about the LLMs and large language models and encoders and the rest, transformers and the rest. So you can see medical diagnostic is also very much part of what AI is used for. So you can see patients' information, being able to scan and detect maybe for broken bones or for health issues. using artificial intelligence. So AI has really come and has been used a lot in achieving a lot in several fields. And the wise thing for anybody to be able to do now is to be in tune with how it works and how to use it to optimize whatever thing you're doing. I was speaking with somebody I s- that was afraid that the with AI a lot of jobs will be taken, and that's true. But there are some people that will still have jobs, and that those are those people that can multiply their efficiency by using AI, that can multiply their outputs, because everybody's looking for speed and precision. And if you can use that to your advantage, you would be able to maximize the AI to make sure that you remain in job. So that's something that um you have to always be on the watch for, on the lookout for. So welcome. This is your baptism into your data career data lab. And one of the things we like to tell people is to find your niche. Our training is going to be very broad in the sense that we're going to be touching on different things. You're going to be touching on business, you're going to be touching on health, you're going to be touching on um, agriculture, a bit of geospatial, and the rest. But at the end of the day, it will give you the foundation to be able to simplify your journey by finding your niche, finding where you are more interested in and focusing on that aspect and building yourself on that aspect. So that is something that you're going to do probably at the end of your training. So you have to identify, maybe like you work in the health sector, you might say, okay, I want to be able to apply data analysis to the health sector. You work in maybe sports, you want to be able to apply data science and analytics to sports and the rest. So you have to discover your niche, that place you're passionate about, and that place that you fit in and you can use data analysis. It's the world is always in lookout for specialists, especially for people that want to work in industry. So look for your niche and be a specialist in that aspect. Also, we do not just teach tools, and that is something that um come you have to understand about our training style. It's not just about tools. We we want you to be able we want you to be able to not only be not only use tools, but to be able to use the tools accurately. And that is where we teach you the logical reasoning process of a data analyst and a data scientist. Because it's not just that you know how to build a pie chart, therefore you just put a pie chart. No, you have to understand the thought process that goes behind building a pie chart. Why is the pie chart needed? What kind of information you'll be passing across that you need to create a pie chart? When don't you need to use a pie chart? What are alternatives to pie charts that can pass across the same kind of information? So, as a data scientist or someone in the data analytics field, you're not just about the tool, you're about the logical process behind the tool. And that is why you might come to some organizations, and one of the things you find out is that even though they advertise that they need somebody that can use Python or someone that can use Power BI, you might resume work in the organization and find out that they use none of those tools. They use maybe an in-house tool that was developed specifically for them. What they are going to be interested in you is basically the fact that you have the reasoning logic of the logical reasoning or the problem solving um, style of a data analyst, because then they can now teach you how to apply that reasoning, apply that logic, apply that systematic way of solving problems to their own tools, and they don't need to teach you that. So that is something that we are going to be very particular about. So we'll not just be giving you answers. Oh, I want to do this, therefore this is how you do it. We want you to reason along with us to develop your logical reasoning process so that you can be able to work as a true work truly as a professional in the data field. Um, so the one thing you need to do is to stay consistent, um, stay current. Um, Data science is a fast, evolving field. There are a lot of things happening in the field, and you need to commit to a lifelong learning every day. Uh, I think there's really a week that goes by. I've been in this field for um 6 years plus now, and there's really a week that goes by without me learning something new. There's really a week that goes by without me learning something new. Like there's always something new. There's always something different. And it tells on how I deliver my work because you might see something I did a year ago and I'll be doing something similar this year. And you see that it is more efficient, it's more accurate, it is faster, and the rest. And that is because of the fact that in this system, in this method, I'm consistently learning because the data science field, like every tech field, is very fast evolving. Things change rapidly. You can be using something today and tomorrow they tell you it's obsolete. This is no longer how it is done. This is the new way, or this is the way to do it more efficiently. Or before you could only do five of these at once, now you can do 10,000 at once. And for you to do that, to be able to flow in the ecosystem in the field, you have to be a lifelong learner. So not just what we have taught you, you have to be somebody that is good looking at researching, looking at things, how things are changing and how you can use that. Um, because like I said, we are going to give you that foundation, a very solid foundation for you to be able to start on. But how you proceed after that foundation is going to be entirely up to you. So you will find yourself constantly needing to update your knowledge to stay relevant now and in the future. Like I said, things change a lot. So it's not like your typical field. In those days in the university, you will find some lecturers that are using materials that they were teaching from the 80s or the 90s, and they're still using it now to teach. But the tech field, a lot of things changes, a lot of things change even on a daily basis. So what you think you understand today might be different tomorrow. But the major thing that will not change is that logical, systematic process. And that is one of the most important things that you should get in your training here at Data Lab. Not just the tool, because tools change. Today, Python can be on top, and tomorrow you'll see a different tool. I was speaking with somebody the other day working in the US, and he was talking about his company because of speed and the rest. They don't use Python, they use what they call Golang and Rust for most of their development. And at the end of the day, that kind of company might set out an advert. And in that advert, they might be looking for a data scientist. And they'll say ability to use Python because they know a lot of people don't know that's Rust or Golang. But at the end of the day, you come to the organization and they will train you on using that Rust and Golang. But to them, what they are hoping that you come with is that reasoning process so that you can apply it, that programming language that they use. So that is something that you have to always look out for. What is it? What is currently happening? How is it happening? And what are the changes? And even the way things change affects even us that give training. So our materials are updated, the tools that we teach are updated based on what is happening. So maybe in the future we might see that, oh, this tool is no longer used in the field. So for those current sets, we are going to be switching and using a different tool because we are looking at the ecosystem, we are looking at the market, we are looking at the demand, and we are working with that. So that is that on that. And that thing you need to do is to stay working on projects. You have to be working on projects. You even after your training, don't just say it is done, I'm gone, I'm not going to be doing anything I've learned, and there's nothing left for me. No, it is important for you to keep on working on projects to improve yourself and to improve yourself so that you can be able to get to be grounded. And one of the things we'll do to you in the process of your training is to open you up to um, places where you can access projects that you can work on your own. You can access data, you can access sample projects that you can work on your own and be able to um, just generally make your hand strong, if that's the word to use, to make your hand very strong and viable in what you're doing, because that is very key. So you have to do personal projects, and that is why our training is also very project intensive. So one of the things you need to do is to get ready to do a lot of projects. You're going to be jam-packed with several projects, assignments, classwork, homeworks, mini projects as tools, and a major project at the end. It's project based, and the idea is that so that by the end of your training, you can be able to confidently pick up a project and run with it. You can confidently pick up a project and work with it. So that is the idea of it. So because we know that even after your training, for you to remain consistent, for you to develop yourself, you will need to work consistently on projects. So as we round up, let us see some of the projects some of our interns over the years have worked on. So we have malaria diagnosis using deep learning. Um, One of the projects our interns have worked on. We have prediction of electricity consumption for household appliances. Um, you can see the name of the person that worked on it. Now, each team, each set, they have a name. So, for example, your set, you're going to choose a name, and that's something you're going to do later on. Among yourselves, you're going to select what name we should call your set. So we have had several sets. Every set has a name. So we have Team Gold, Team Diamond, Team Insights, um, and the rest. Team Beauty, Team View, and the rest. So this is Team Unique, and one of them worked on this project. So student biodata app for algorithm college data collection in school, project on data science for subscription services. So this is projects that some of our people have worked on. So you have to be like very um you have to come ready. Basically, that's the word. So prepare yourself. It's going to take your time. So I think that's one of the things you have to prepare for mentally. That this is something that's going to take your time. It's going to take your energy. It's going to take your efforts, and it needs you to be very well committed to it. So hotel accommodation price prediction by one of our interns, business intelligence dashboard, um, also by some of our interns. So we also have our interns participate in data science competitions. Um, so these are some of these competitions are organized by companies, organizations, and many of them come with winning prizes. Like you can see, some have 60,000, 55,000, and the rest. So for anybody that wins the competition, so it might be to create a very accurate model that can do this, or create analytical tools that can do that, and the rest. So we encourage our students to participate, our interns to participate in this competition. They might not win it, but at least to get an idea of how things work in real life scenarios. That's the idea. So you can go on this site, you can see also some of the projects our interns, um, some of the projects our interns have worked on. Um, Um, if you go to the site, I can share the link of the site later on with you so that you can see it for yourself. Um, so you can see um some projects that some of our interns have worked on on the portfolio sites. So we like to display some of the projects of some of our exceptional interns so that other people can see and learn from and be able to participate in. So these are some projects from some of our past interns over the years. So this is a typical training session in our physical this thing because we have hybrid, we have physical, we have fully online. So this is a physical training, and this is just even our previous hall. We have a much larger hall now that can seat almost 20 people for training. So finally, I know I've said finally before, but finally, I so finally house rules, regular class attendance. If you're going to be absent from any class, please notify your instructor as soon as you are aware that you're going to be absent. No late coming to class. Class starts on time. So respect the time for your sake and for the sake of your other interns with you. So active participation in class. Speak up to ask questions if you have questions. Um, take responsibility for your learning. Learning is a shared responsibility. Like I said, there's a part the instructors plays and there's a part the students plays. So don't just depend on only what happens in the class. Take time out to review what has been done in the class on your own personally. Make sure you carry out assignments, make sure you do classworks and the rest. So if there's any reading, if there's any review, if there's any lecture notes, if there's any question, and it's easy for me as an instructor. I've been instructing for more than 3 years now, close to 4 years plus. And I can actually tell when people have reviewed what they did in previous classes. And one of the telltale signs for that is that generally they ask questions. They ask questions because you're learning something for the first time. So if you go through the previous material, you will have questions. Might not be, it will not necessarily be about what was done, but why something was done or what necessitated something being done a particular way. So please do the needful, treat others with respect, care, and be best of friends. You don't know where you might meet. We have people that have become best friends. Some people have even gone on to be. I know somebody that um one of the interns went on to be like they are very good friends. Went on to be like one of the bridal train for the other one that got married. So you don't know. You might have meet your best friend here. So respect each other and just foster that collaborative team spirit. It's not a competition. You're working together and respect our deadlines. Assignments and project submissions have deadlines, or and you'll be given a lot of them, and you have deadlines to submit them within. So please respect them so that you can maximize your stay. So what do you expect from us? We'll take your feedback to improve your learning experience. So if you have any issues, if you have anything you notice, please give us feedback. We'll give you listening ears and we do not discard whatever you say to us. Um, we'll do our responsibilities by teaching and supporting you. So you have issues, we'll support you, we'll give you extra time. We'll give you the best training wherever you are. Um, we'll always celebrate you because you are important to us as we are also important to you. And we encourage you to participate in our in-house projects because, like I said, we are not just a training institution. We do consultancy projects and we build in-house projects to build in-house stuff too. So as part of the process in baptizing you into real life project systems, we'll also encourage you to participate in some of our ongoing in-house projects to give you that all-round experience. So let's see whether we can get some reviews. These are some reviews from our online, our past experience. So this person, I think was in 2022, this person did her internship working on real life projects. We have had several of them over the years. One just recently gave out a shout out to us. She's con she's currently working as a data analyst with Airtel Nigeria. So we have had a lot of people like that we are proud of that have gone through our system and have become um, very valuable to their organizations and their industries. So you can watch some of the videos. We interviewed some of our past people, so you can also watch those videos um, on our YouTube channel. So these are some of the reasons why people enroll for an internship. Courses constantly upgraded using work-life resources. We have assigned mentors. We have support sessions to support your learning. We have brilliant instructors and project-oriented learning. We do job search coaching via our conversational support to help you to prepare for the job market. So even things like your CV optimization and the rest. Um, Friendly tuition because we are making an impact. So you get the best value for based on our outline and the rest. So quality of our online reviews and recommendation is also part of the reasons why people enroll with us. So thank you very much for participating. Your email training@datalab.com for any any further information. Um, you can reach out to this number also on WhatsApp for any clarification.